The internet didn't wake up to another messy headline. It woke up to a storm that stopped everyone mid-scroll. For months, Atlanta had whispered about the toxic love story between Kelsey Frost, daughter of Kirk Frost and stepdaughter of Rashida, and her boyfriend, rising rapper lhhatl. There had always been rumors, fights in parking lots, screaming matches caught on phones, whispers of drugs, and that one night when things finally exploded into gunfire. 7 bullets fired, 5 tearing into his back, the city argued, fans speculated, both families pointed fingers, but without proof, it all felt like gossip until now. Because today, proof didn't whisper, it screamed raw, shaky. Violent clips landed on the internet like bombs. One video showed Kelsey asleep when lhhatl stormed in and began beating her without warning. Another caught him slamming doors, yanking cameras from the wall, pacing like a man who had lost control. The sound of fists on skin was louder than any rumor. These weren't blurry shadows, they were clear enough, brutal enough to freeze anyone watching. Within minutes, the clips spread across blogs, timelines, and feeds. This wasn't gossip anymore. It was evidence, and evidence changes everything. The blogs lit up instantly. Hollywood Unlocked, The Shade Room, and every smaller gossip page looped the videos nonstop, adding captions like victim or setup, and Kelsey speaks through proof. Comment sections went to war. Some fans said the clips proved Kelsey wasn't the mastermind, she was trapped. Others swore this was staged. Old clips dropped to shield the Frosts and deflect blame on Twitter. Strangers argued like they'd lived in the Frost house themselves. Memes mixed with outrage. For the first time, Kelsey wasn't just the accused. She was bruised, but hours later, the story twisted again. lhhatl's sister jumped online and cut through the noise. Her words didn't tremble. They struck like knives. Don't show me coats in 98 degrees. Don't show me old clips. Show me August 8th, 7 p.m. Show me the driveway where my brother was shot 7 times. 5 in his back. That single statement flipped the narrative. Neighbors had whispered about cameras on the Frost property. They said the driveway, the front door, the hallways were all under surveillance, yet when detectives arrived, the DVR system was gone. Police reports read, no footage available. Now, the videos that had social media calling Kelsey a victim were reframed as a cover-up. If abuse was constant, why wasn't law enforcement ever called? Why were these videos surfacing only after the autopsy proved he was shot from behind? And then came the texts, screenshots spread like wildfire. In one, Kelsey begged lhhatl's mother, "Your son putting his hands on me. Can you send someone to pick up his things?" The reply, a chillingly short "okay, thanks." No outrage, no questions, no comfort, just cold dismissal. That one line shocked the internet. Suddenly, people weren't only asking about Kelsey, they were asking about his family. Did they always know? Were they enabling him? Was she told to call them instead of 911 to keep police out of it? If that was true, then silence wasn't hers alone. It was a system. The more the videos looped, the more the story bent. Some fans screamed that Kelsey had finally shown she was a survivor. Others screamed the Frosts were staging this, protecting their son at all costs. But one fact wouldn't budge. lhhatl was dead. 7 bullets. 5 in his back. The autopsy was undeniable. The question was why? Because evidence cuts both ways. Yes, the videos showed violence, but the timing raised suspicion. Why wait weeks to drop proof? Why not release it the night the accusations began? Why let rumors snowball if this was sitting in a camera roll the entire time? Contradictions piled up. Another screenshot showed Kelsey thanking lhhatl's mother after reporting violence. "Thanks again for everything." To some, it showed brainwashing. A victim forced to thank the very people ignoring her. To others, it looked like complicity, proof she was part of the chaos, not apart from it. Hashtag spun back and forth. Hashtag justice for Kelsey. Hashtag justice for the OD. And back again by nightfall. This wasn't just about two lovers, it was about two families, the Frosts and the Hoods, fighting in public with receipts. One side pointing to bruises, the other pointing to bullet wounds, one side screaming self-defense, the other screaming overkill. And the public was drowning in questions. If the Frosts had this footage, what else were they hiding? If the Hoods knew, why didn't they step in? Why label it possible self-defense when the bullets were in his back? Every so-called answer uncovered another hole. For weeks, it was a tragic love story gone wrong. But tonight, it looked like a scripted war, staged in real time across blogs and comment sections. And if the videos shook the internet, the Hood family's response was about to set the whole city on fire. The debate didn't cool down. It got louder. Some sided with the Hoods, insisting the Frost family was shielding Kai from facing justice. Others sided with the Frosts, pointing at the abuse videos and text messages as undeniable proof of a girl caught in a cycle she couldn't escape in. The middle stood Kirk Frost, silent but exposed, according to lhhat's baby mama. He once admitted he had washed his hands of the situation because he knew Kelsey wouldn't leave. To the public, that sounded like abandonment. To his defenders, it sounded like distance. Either way, it made him look like a father who admitted his daughter was in danger but refused to help. Cold, calculating, complicit. Online conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Fans whispered that Rashida's love and hip-hop checks were keeping police quiet, making sure Kai never saw a jail cell. Others accused gossip blogs of taking payouts to push the narrative of Kelsey as a victim, while painting lhhat as a villain. Hashtags like #paid receipts and #cover-up in Atlanta trended nonstop. But through all the noise, one fact remained unshaken. On August 8th, lhhat was walking away, and he was shot 7 times, 5 bullets in his back. Abuse videos couldn't erase that. Text messages couldn't excuse that. Whatever the motive, rage, self-defense, or something darker, the outcome was final. He didn't survive. This part of the story wasn't just about abuse or betrayal. It was about contradictions stacked higher than ever. Families who said one thing and did another. A mistress who blurred every line. A father who chose silence. And a city forced to pick sides in a war fueled by receipts. The Frosts held their abuse videos. The Hoods demanded the missing DVR from the night of the shooting, and the public, stuck in the middle, had to decide which truth to believe. By the second day of chaos, Atlanta wasn't debating anymore, it was screaming. The Frosts and the Hoods had turned a tragedy into open warfare. Every blog, every YouTube commentator, every gossip page was part of the battlefield. To some, Kelsey Frost was a battered woman silenced by her abuser's family. To others, she was a manipulator who provoked the fight until bullets flew. But hanging above all the noise was the one thing no one could argue. lhhat was gone. And the leaks didn't stop. On one side, the Hoods pointed to Kelsey's chilling text, "I want to unalive some __ for real." They called it premeditation. On the other side, Kelsey's camp pushed video after video of her bruises and broken belongings. Friends and insiders weighed in. The baby mama admitted she had seen Vanessa. The mistress introduced lhhat to new drugs that changed him completely. Kelsey's best friend released messages showing the bruises were real. The silence was real. The abuse wasn't a rumor. But the Hoods countered with claims that Kelsey smashed the Ash's necklace, holding his father's remains, taunting him. Until he snapped, the truth got buried deeper under layers of bias. Neighbors swore the Frost property was covered in cameras, driveway, hallways, every corner. But when detectives arrived, the DVR system was gone. Ripped from the wall. Reports claimed no footage available. Anonymous sources whispered that officers had ties to VH1 staff and even to Kirk Frost himself. Suddenly, this wasn't sloppy investigation, it was corruption. That's when the conspiracy exploded. The Hood family, already furious, went public. They claimed the Frosts weren't protecting Kelsey at all. They were protecting Kai, protecting their bloodline, protecting their empire. Words like cover-up, payoff, Atlanta politics flooded comment sections. Fans accused Rashida of using her platform and money to bury the truth. Every time a blog pushed abuse footage, replies poured in. "How much did y'all get paid for this post?" But the Hoods weren't untouchable either. Critics slammed them too. If they knew about the violence, if they told Kelsey to call them every time, why didn't they protect her? Why didn't they stop it before it turned fatal? Why did his own mother reply with just "okay, thanks" when told her son was beating his girlfriend? Their indifference looked as ugly as a Frost silence. The blame cycle had no exit. Meanwhile, more dirt on Vanessa poured out. Not only was she blamed for introducing drugs, but rumors swirled that she was secretly tangled with Kelsey too. Fueling jealousy and chaos. Photos of her at the vigil went viral, cigarette in hand, tube top and flip-flops. No shirt with his face, no visible grief. Memes mocked her, the side chick who sparked it all. To some, she was another woman who suffered abuse. To others, she was the snake who lit the match. And through it all, Kai Frost's name kept echoing. The autopsy was clear. 7 bullets, 5 in the back. The incident report listed him. Yet he wasn't arrested. He wasn't questioned. Police didn't even acknowledge him. That silence became the loudest clue of all. The Hood shouted injustice, the Frost said nothing, and the public demanded answers. Whispers of payoffs turned into headlines. By now, the story wasn't local gossip anymore. National blogs picked it up. YouTubers outside Atlanta dissected it. True crime podcasters lined up to tell it. Every retelling cut deeper into both families. Some called lhhat a rising star lost too soon. Others called him an abuser whose demons caught up with him. Some called Kelsey a survivor. Others called her a mastermind who used her family to silence him forever. But the truth stayed hidden. The only footage that mattered, the missing DVR from August 8th, never surfaced. Until it did, the case was nothing but a battlefield of half-truths and receipts twisted for sides. By the third week, the legal system finally stirred. Rumors of a grand jury leaked. Subpoenas were set to be drafted, the Hood family demanded charges, the Frosts prepared defense, fan-made courtroom sketches flooded timelines, dramatizing the showdown. Hashtag split again. Hashtag justice for the OD versus hashtag protect Kelsey. The war wasn't just online anymore. It was heading for court. Still, neither family backed down. The Hoods demanded Kelsey's arrest. The Frosts defended her as a survivor. Both sides swore they had more receipts. Both promised a real truth would be revealed soon. The public braced for the next bombshell. Would it be the missing DVR? A new leak of texts? A courtroom witness? No one knew. But one thing was clear, this wasn't just a love story gone violent. It wasn't just another rapper gone too soon. It was betrayal, silence, and power, with the Frost Empire on one side and the Hood bloodline on the other. Atlanta stayed split in two, one side waving bruises, the other pointing to bullets. Blogs could argue, families could scream, but the truth was locked somewhere, in a missing DVR. A hidden file, a camera that saw everything but hasn't spoken yet. And when that footage finally surfaces, it won't just answer questions. It will set the city on fire. One family will rise, the other will fall. And in this war, there are no winners, only survivors. So the real question isn't if the truth will come out. The real question is who will survive it.